All right, let's see. We're gonna wait 2 more minutes to make sure everybody gets in here. I'm not sure if it lets people who are waiting in until the time. Might wait, make them wait. So let's just wait. All right, less than 1 minute here. Uh-oh, what's going on? All right. I can see myself. All right, I'm showing that 1 person is watching. I don't know if that's just me. I'm still trying to make sure everything is running correctly. Let's see. All right. All right, I've got my first video. I mean, my first visitor. Ooh, second visitor. Zori and XL. Hi, guys. Okay, so bear with me. I'm still trying to... I've got my little chat thing open. Okay, I think I'm ready. 2 viewers. Okay. So, I guess I'll just get started. So what I'm doing today is a pair of earrings in a maximalist style. And if you don't know what maximalist is, it's going to be like the new thing in 2019. So we've got, it's sort of hideous. It's a little 90s, I guess, but it basically means mixing patterns, animal prints, textures, and colors. So it's sort of the opposite of minimalist style. And Zori, so this image is a Tom Ford ad from some fashion magazine. So yeah, everybody's starting to jump on this like wildness. So I am using this as a inspiration image, and I took the color palette from there. I already what is this called? Conditioned all my clay, because you guys don't want to sit here and watch me condition clay. Trust. So let's see. I've actually never made animal prints before with clay. So this is sort of new to me, but that's all right. So we're gonna do, let's see if we can make an animal print. I was gonna do this giraffe looking one, which I think those 3 colors. Wait, oh, this one goes, was it that one? No, this one. There's my giraffe, like her tights. So, I guess what we need to do first is we need to have a base. So I'm just gonna cut out base. And I'm making drop style earrings. And we'll get to that part once we have actual pieces. So I like to, a lot of people use caning techniques for clay. Let me see what Zoe said. Oh, thank you, Zoe. Yeah, I honestly, I'm not, like I said in the description of that, like I have no idea how, I didn't know that that ability existed in me, to be honest. I just said one day, you know, I wonder if I could paint with clay, and I wonder if I could do a masterpiece copy. And sure enough, I did. All right. So, actually, you know what? Let's do a base out of this one for the giraffe. Thank you, Zori. All right. So, now we kind of want to make it like torn. You don't want it to be exact lines here. So we're just going to do this by hand. Oh, and what I was going to say is a lot of people use caning techniques to do animal print, which is basically you build colors up until you have a long strip, and then you cut it this way and you have your pattern inside of it. So that's what a lot of people do, but I am not a caner, and I am sort of a clay painter, I guess. So I'm just going to look at my picture and create some giraffe prints. Thank you, XL, for trying to recruit people. I'm not too worried about it since this is the first time with the new equipment. Sort of just a nice little test. Look like a sad face. Practice stream, yes. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be like a whole lot of information about streaming on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. Like, I don't know if a lot of people maybe don't really do it, or if it's just like, I know they have a whole separate thing for gamers, so it's possible that it's really just a gamer thing on YouTube. We'll see. I know it does look like a frowny face. Yeah, it is. It is mysterious. And they do have, I noticed today that they do have in the YouTube Academy, they have some little classes on it, but I didn't have time to do that. All right. Now we're going to use some of our brown. This isn't brown, this is bronze. And this bronze is beautiful when it cooks. All the metallic clays are really pretty when they cook. So Zora, you're a streamer on Twitch, right? All right, is that looking a little more giraffe-like? Baby streamer, yeah. I'm a baby YouTuber. Although I almost have 100 videos up. Yeah, 100 videos. I've taken, or I've age restricted, I think 2 or 3 of them because they contained drinking and talking of drugs and stuff. And at the time, I was sort of concerned about becoming a YouTube partner and all that. Now I don't know if it really matters, now that I'm already a partner. That's funny. XL is my husband, if no one knows. Zori knows. Very famous YouTuber. Big time. Well, if it wasn't for XL, I would not be doing this with all this fancy equipment here. Before, I was just doing live streams from my phone. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on a single animal because I've got more to make, but I do want it to look like a giraffe. Don't want it to just look like spots. Yes, in-house IT, exactly. Well, now that we have all this stuff set up down here, it's like, do I leave it set up? I guess so. My black is a little too... Is it black on giraffes? In real life? Maybe it's like brown, more brown and white. I probably should have looked up giraffes before I started doing this. That's the Tony Craft way. Just start doing shit. Figure it out. Oops, sorry. That was probably loud. I mean, it sort of looks like a giraffe when I look up at the screen. Zori, are you the one that's also a crafter of some sort? Okay, to answer your question, yes, I cook them at home. I actually now have, I used to just cook them in the oven, but I now have a, what's that called? Like a toaster oven that I use. And you do not have to finish them before wearing, but you can. I don't have any sitting here, but I just use a Sculpey glaze. This is a Sculpey glue, but they also have glazes and stuff, and I usually use the satin glaze, not the gloss. And it just sort of finishes it and makes it look, I don't know, less like clay and a little more like ceramic. People often ask me when I glaze, when I do multiple layers of glaze, people often ask me if it's ceramic, which is cool because ceramic's way more of a pain in the ass. Okay. I think that's good enough for a giraffe for now. Let's see. Move on to cheetah, which is these and some black. So unfortunately I don't have a ton of yellow today. I think what I'm going to do Oh yeah, so Zori, you can get. It's funny because when you ask at craft stores and stuff, when you ask about polymer clay glaze, people often look at you like you are completely insane. But it's near where all the polymer clay stuff is. It's all in that same area. The glue, the glue is super useful. The glaze is nice; it dries really quickly. And you can bake the glaze too. So if you glaze something and realize that you need to add more onto it, you can still throw it in the oven and it doesn't affect it, which is really nice. Whoa, how did you do that, Chris? XL. Sorry, I'm using your real name. Don't use my real name. Yeah, you should. And you know, at Michael's, they actually have their own brand of polymer clay now. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's cheaper. It's probably about 50 cents or so cheaper than all the other ones. And I've tried it and it's not bad. They have a beginner one that's really super soft. They call it preconditioned. And then they have a second one that's supposed to be more professional or whatever. And it's, oh, super chat function, Chris. Okay. So do I need to like look at the super chat? How does super chat work? I don't know. Ah, super chat. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't have to like turn it on or anything. Are you supposed to have music on when you stream? I'm not sure if that would be annoying or good to have music. I don't often listen to music when I work, so what if it annoyed me? What if I was like, ah, this song's driving me crazy? I guess I could just switch it. Yeah, podcast, yeah. Watch me craft and listen to the entire True Crimes podcast. I wonder if you'd get in trouble for that. Oops. I really probably should have looked up how to make animal prints before I started doing this. Not sure about these little animal prints. It's alright. We have colorful stuff, which will save us. All right, so now I think the point really is to kind of slice and dice things, right? So I'm just gonna cut some things up, sort of stick things back together, and then we can cut them into earring shapes. I need a new tissue blade. This thing is dull. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, and then I have some gold here too. All right. And I was thinking too to go really into this maximalist style. I could put little dents in my clay, and then once it's dry and cooked, I could then fill the little dents with sequins and things like that, or even like Swarovski crystals or whatever. Make it real gaudy. So I'm just sort of sticking these together. So what we're doing right now, this is called making a slab. So we are, and I'm not necessarily doing it correctly. I mean, really, when you make a slab, you're making a big piece to cut little pieces from. But technically, that's what we're doing. Yeah, I know this is, it's like so ugly, but there's something very intriguing about it too. It's like Miami punk or something. But apparently this is not the first time that maximalist has been a thing. Apparently it's a trend that's coming back. So I'm thinking maybe the 80s, you know, like Lisa Frank folders. Because those are pretty... If I had to think of something the opposite of minimalism, I think Lisa Frank is probably a pretty good example. So I guess we could add some black in there too. I guess the only difference between like Lisa Frank and this is that Lisa Frank's a little more like baby colors, I guess. And clearly these are adult colors. She does need leg warmers. Let's see, I'm just gonna keep adding on to this, I guess, and then we'll just cut from from the slab. And the funny thing about polymer clay is that it always looks very flat and plain before you cook it. And then once you cook it, all this dimension comes out, which is really sort of incredible. And you never quite know what you're going to get until you cook it. And then also you always want to use lighter colors than you think, because all of this is going to darken up. So I'm using like a really, in person, this is sort of a pinkish, orangish red, but it will darken up to a pretty, probably a dark red. Need more giraffe. More giraffe. My mom called me the other day to tell me that in one of my videos, she did not want me to cut one of the pieces the way I did. Apparently she was watching and was yelling at the computer because I cut something in half that she wanted to keep. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess that could happen in a live feed. Someone's like, no, don't do it. Like, sorry, there's a delay. I already did it. Good idea, XL. So do you... Oh, Jesus. Almost cut my nail off. Do you guys think I should do Twitch? I mean, people watch other people eat on Twitch, so I'm sure doing something like this would... At least someone would want to watch it. What is a restream? Remind me what that means. Like, I take the file from here and then put it on there or something? Oh, you mean that the thing that we had, yeah. So we're broadcasting on multi-platforms. Zori, do they just talk when they cross-stitch? I'm running out of animal print. No. So the first few times that I live streamed on YouTube, I was just doing it from my phone. So I didn't have any way to see people commenting and stuff. And I'm sure that was really annoying because people did comment and ask questions and I'm just like, I'm not paying attention to you. That's probably why they left. Alright, let's roll this a little bit. Oops. Alright, let's see. Now I gotta fill in a couple holes. Need magnifying glasses? Seriously, this blade is not sharp. Alright, let's see. Oh, you know what? I never added any. Do we need white? I guess not. That looks pretty white. Maybe I'll just add like a couple dots of white. Jesus. Don't fall apart. All right. Now, I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of glue between these. Only because this white is a little bit dry. right, so now we have our little mini slab. I think that's a pretty good representation of the image. It's a little more swirly or something, but that's okay. Okay, and then to do, what I'm doing is drop style earrings, which, let me grab something real quick, I'll show you guys. All right, so these, I made these earrings the other day. They're in that drop style, geometric style. There's two different types, and those are in a metal clay with gold edging. So anyways, I was going to do the same sort of look, but in this pattern, and maybe I'll do like the middle piece or something as a plain color, and then we can do the whole denting and adding you know, Swarovski crystals or whatever. All right, so I think that one's too big. So we need 2 of these, and then 2 of the smaller ones in the middle. So this is the fun part, because you get to kind of go around and find the best looking circle. Maybe that's a good one. And I usually use plastic wrap on top of my clay when I cut things out, because it gives you a rounded edge. But we're just gonna go for it. Right. Oh, and I guess really we need 4 of these if we're, or no, 3 of these if we're gonna cut one in half. Let's get our small circles first. Okay. Then we just have to find a spot that'll still fit this, which we might not find. Just barely. I'm gonna cut this one in half. Thanks, guys. Let's see. All right, and then I have a teeny tiny little hole cutter. It's like a micro hole cutter that very easily gets clogged with clay. And I'm going to create holes in the earrings so that they can then be attached with jump rings. Like in the finished one, you can see the jump rings attach them. And these ones are pretty thick, so might be a little harder. Well, first we got to figure out which way we want them to go. Like that. Okay. And then we're just going to carefully punch a little hole in there. Where did my stick go? Oops. These top ones do not need two holes because they are going to attach to the studs on the back instead of being attached to another piece. But all the rest, or the middle ones at least, need 2 holes to attach. All right, and then to finish these guys up, you can go through with your craft knife and try to take some of the cutting marks and stuff like that off, or you can wait until it's been cooked and you can still use your craft knife, or you can do sandpaper. It's just sometimes it's a little more work if you wait and do it after it's cooked. And then also you have to breathe in the clay dust and stuff as you sand. But it's doable. This one's got a little chunk taken out the back. Sort of cool how they're like half and half when you go that way. I know, it's like, it's yeah, it's like emo or something. Or not emo, screamo maybe? I don't know. It's whatever the new scene's gonna be in 2019, I think. And I'm gonna be the queen of it all because I did a live stream. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. So, so at this point, I would put them on a piece of parchment paper, and preheat my oven to about 275. Since I'm using a whole bunch of different kinds of clay, they usually have different instructions on them. So I usually go somewhere in between. If it says 250 and one says 285 Fahrenheit, you just kind of go in between. You don't usually run the risk of burning them, although people do talk about that. Really what happens is they get dark. So it's sort of like toast, right? So like you can have this color and it'll either come out you know, 1 shade darker than this or 3 shades darker than this. So it really just kind of depends. But it's usually not that big of a deal to overcook them or undercook them. People say that there's issues with how strong things are with different cooking times, but when you're talking about something like earrings, I'm not all that worried about how strong they are, because no one should be like trying to, you know, break them. Whatever. Oh yeah. You guys have any other questions? I think those came out pretty cool. I'm excited to see them baked. I don't know what you're supposed to do at the end of a live stream. What do I do? Do I just say goodbye? Yeah, so I get jump rings and stuff usually pre-made. Supposedly you can make them pretty damn easy yourself with just wire. If I had some here. I don't have any right here though. But supposedly you can just use a crafting wire or a, you know, whatever kind of wire and make them yourself really easy. Haven't really tried doing that because I just haven't mastered, I don't know, making wire straight, I guess. It's harder than it looks. Oh, the earring backs and stuff. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So that's another thing I should talk about actually. So this, the way I used to do it is I used to, let's see if you can see this. I used to just glue the earring backs onto my earrings, but I realized that some of them, it was like 1 out of every, I don't know, 25 pairs or something would come off. And of course that happened one time when I was at a craft fair and someone was looking at the earrings. So what I started doing was gluing. So basically I'll cook these the first time, and then the second time I'll take them out, glue the stud piece onto there, and then do an additional layer of clay. I don't know if you can see that, like it's kind of like a blob of clay on there holding it down. So that's what I've been doing to make them way stronger. Yeah, it's way easier to use pre-made, but it is expensive because, you know, every time you buy like 25 jump rings in a certain color, it's probably $2 or something like that. So yeah, I put a little bit of clay around the edge. Yeah, and you can actually do, they have a liquid clay that supposedly you can do this with, but it's expensive, so I've never bought it. I will have a finished picture on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, I'm at tonicraftshow everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. So you can find me everywhere. I will post pictures of these, and most likely they will end up in my Etsy shop, where I am also at tonicraftshow. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.